All right, let's dive right into the massive shifts happening in consumer trends for 2026. Have you ever felt that weird disconnect between the viral products blowing up your feed and what's actually going on in the real world? Yeah, you are not alone. In this explainer, we're going to break down what people are really spending their hard-earned money on, and more importantly, the powerful why behind it all.
So here's the big paradox that really kicks everything off. On one side, you've got your phone just screaming at you with endless flash sales and viral hype. But on the other, you walk into a physical store and it's quiet? It's not that people have stopped spending money, oh no. It's that their priorities have done a complete 180. They're moving away from those impulse buys and towards really deliberate, considered purchases. And understanding this disconnect is the key to the whole 2026 landscape.
And that, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question for this whole explainer. Why? Why the huge change? It's not just one thing, you know. It's this perfect storm of economic pressure, just being tired of trends that last 5 minutes, and a really deep, fundamental shift in what we actually value.
So, to get to the bottom of this, we're going to look at 5 key areas. First up, we'll tackle the new consumer mindset. Then, we'll dive deep into 3 massive demand shifts. That's efficiency, health, and sustainability. And finally, we're going to wrap it all up by showing you exactly how to find your own opportunity in this brand new economy.
Okay, first things first, the new consumer mindset. Let's be real. After years of chasing viral trends that just burn out in a matter of weeks, people are exhausted. And with economic realities like inflation, every single dollar is being thought through. The focus has completely shifted away from hype and landed squarely on real, tangible value. Utility. That's the new buzzword.
The entire strategy for 2026, honestly, can be boiled down to this one classic saying. In a gold rush, the folks who made the most consistent money weren't the ones digging for gold. They were the ones selling the shovels. This single idea is the bedrock for everything we're about to talk about.
So what does selling shovels even mean today? Well, it means you stop chasing the super trendy, saturated products. That's the gold. And instead, you provide the essential tools and solutions people actually need to get through their day. It's all about solving fundamental problems in this new, kind of complex world we're in.
You can really see the psychological journey here. We're moving away from FOMO, the fear of missing out, and straight into JOMO, the joy of missing out on all those wasteful trends. We're trading that fleeting hype for real, lasting utility. And we're starting to value personal stability way, way more than showing off status. It's a huge shift from just buying stuff to look good to buying stuff to live well.
All right, let's jump into our first major trend and see how this all plays out, the massive demand for efficiency. Look, in 2026, people are just overwhelmed. They are desperate for products and services that can save them their most precious resources, their time, their energy, and their focus.
And this gets to something absolutely foundational. Time is the new luxury. Seriously, consumers are more than willing to pay for things that cut down their mental load and just give them a few minutes back in their day. In this economy, anything that can automate, simplify, or streamline your daily life isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a high-demand product.
So, what are the shovels for efficiency? Well, think about things like edge AI devices, gadgets that do all the smart processing right there in your home for speed and privacy, instead of sending everything to the cloud. Or all the hybrid work essentials, like those AI-powered microphones that make you sound like a pro no matter where you are. We're also seeing a huge boom in personal software. That's SaaS, that wrangles your schedule, digital security hardware to lock down your identity, and even micro-learning tools for picking up new skills fast. Every single one is designed to sell you back your time.
Okay, our second major area is health, which is now being seen as a critical investment. The whole mindset has flipped from reactively treating sickness to proactively managing your wellness, all to keep up that long-term productivity and just, feel good.
And if you're wondering why, well, this is it. The cost of not being healthy is just astronomical. When you start adding up the lost productivity at work, the crazy medical bills, and the toll of mental burnout, people are realizing it is so much cheaper and smarter to invest in staying well than it is to pay the price of getting sick.
The shovels here are all about getting ahead of the curve. We're talking about practical biohacking, like wearables that give you real-time data on exactly what your body needs. Mental health tech is exploding, with devices that offer legit, science-backed stress relief. And this goes for functional nutrition for peak performance, connected home fitness for that sense of community, and advanced sleep tech. Because now we all know that high-quality sleep is the ultimate performance enhancer.
And that leads us perfectly into our third big category, sustainability. And let me tell you, this is no longer some niche ethical choice for a select few. For the average person in 2026, it has become a straight-up practical economic decision.
And here is the absolute key takeaway. With energy bills going through the roof and resources getting less stable, sustainable living has become the financially smarter option. It's not just about taking the moral high ground anymore. For a lot of people, it's about household survival.
And the opportunities here are absolutely massive. Just think about portable energy solutions, giving people independence from the grid, or the whole refill economy, where you buy a nice container once and then save money on every single refill. The entire ecosystem around electric vehicles is huge. Not just the cars, but the chargers, the battery care, everything. Even urban farming kits that give people control over their own food supply. These aren't just green ideas, they are smart money moves.
Okay, so we've seen the trends, but how do you actually find your place in this new landscape? Let's pivot to a really simple, practical framework for finding your very own shovel to sell.
Look, starting smart in 2026 isn't about making some huge, risky bet. It's about being observant. Step 1. Just look for the real-world problems people around you are complaining about. Step 2. Test your solution with just a small amount of capital. Step 3. Build a super clear story around how you solve that specific problem. And finally, number 4, protect your cash flow at all costs. In this economy, cash is absolutely king.
And you know what? This whole sell the shovels logic goes way beyond just starting a business. It applies directly to investing too. The smart money is shifting away from those volatile hype stocks and focusing on companies that provide real, measurable utility and have a nice, stable cash flow.
When you boil it all down, this entire shift in thinking really comes down to this one core idea. True wealth isn't some big one-night explosion. It's the sustainable, calm financial system you build for yourself, piece by piece, by focusing on real, lasting value.
So I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. When you look at efficiency, wellness, and sustainability, which shovel do you see as the biggest and most realistic opportunity right there in your community? Think about it, because the smartest opportunities are often sitting right in front of our faces. Thanks so much for joining this explainer.